I've told everyone in our cabinet, not just those that obviously are involved in economic development and workforce development, but everyone in our cabinet, the sole focus of our government has got to be honed in on how do we help the people of the state create more jobs. So last year, as part of our budget, one of the things we did was create within the Department of Administration an Office of Business Development. The idea was to help really in a way to coordinate through the Department of Administration and directly as a council to me as governor, coordinate and just add one more level of value added to the work that our cabinet's already doing on a tremendous level. I'm pleased to announce to you today that we not only have filled that position, but I think you're going to find someone who can match both taking the good work we're doing in workforce development and match it with the good work we're doing in the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation and have a direct link to me to help all of you move the state forward. I'm pleased to announce today the person I've asked to fill that position is so good, he's actually doing it without pay. So it's not that he's good for nothing, he's good for a whole lot more than that. But I think when you hear who I'm announcing, you'll understand that we were able to get one of the most talented individuals, someone who's been involved extensively in economic development and workforce development, who knows a lot about business and knows a lot about one of the topics I'm going to talk about in a moment. I've asked the former CEO of Cyrus International, which is now taken over by Caterpillar, Tim Sullivan, to be the direct counsel to me and to be the head of the Office of Business Development for the state of Wisconsin. Tim, would you stand up for me? But really, I hope you've seen in the last year that being open for business in Wisconsin is a lot more than just a bumper sticker or a slogan. It's a way of doing business. And I hope you've seen the results. Now, we're not done yet, by no means. We'd like to do a whole lot more to help the state continue to grow and expand and add more jobs and more opportunity and more prosperity. Let's look back for a second. Last year at this time, in fact, about a month before I spoke to you, in January after I took the oath of office, we had looked at being in a position where for the 3 years prior, we had lost 150,000 private sector jobs in the state. In other terms, that means 150,000 of our friends and neighbors in Wisconsin had lost their jobs, and their families were out of work. Since last year, we've not only seen us reverse that course, we've added thousands of new jobs in this state. In fact, the unemployment rate today is not only lower than it was a year ago at this time, the unemployment rate in Wisconsin is the lowest it's been since prior to 2008 when we saw the height of the economic meltdown. We've seen in the last year, the Department of Financial Institutions tracks this, almost 2.5% increase in the number of businesses that were incorporated and added to the state of Wisconsin. We've seen, as Charlie mentioned and many of you talked about in the introduction before, we've seen a change of heart in terms of our employers in this state, the people who create jobs in Wisconsin. And the feeling from just a few years ago when only 10% thought we were heading in the right direction to well over 90% who say we are heading in the right direction. What I like about that survey is not just the high percentage who feel we're heading in the right direction, but the fact in that same survey, the solid majority of those employers in the state say they're going to add jobs, they're going to grow employment in the state of Wisconsin in 2012 and beyond. That's ultimately what it takes, because in the end, again, government doesn't create jobs. We can create an environment that is either better or worse, positive or negative. I choose to create a better environment for creating jobs so that you all can put the state back to work again.